Alright, this is logic game number 3, questions 11 through 16, from section 1 of Prep Test 59, which was administered in December 2009. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the stimulus. Alicia will take exactly 4 courses this semester. She must choose from the following 7 courses: G, J, M, P, R, and S, which is offered twice, once each on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. and 3 p.m., and W. No one is allowed to take any course more than once per semester, and because of university requirements and time conflicts, the following restrictions apply to Alicia's choices. Okay, so looking at this game, it seems very clear to me that this is an in and out game. And the reason I say that is because if Alicia takes a class, then she takes it, and if she doesn't take it, then she doesn't take it. It's either one or the other, which tells me that there's going to be a column for classes she takes and a column for classes she doesn't. The only other wrinkle to this question is this idea that statistics is offered twice, once on Tuesday at 9 a.m. and again on Tuesday at 3 p.m., which tells me that there's probably some twist associated with that I'm going to have to watch out for. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the rules. Okay, so our first rule says that, well, actually, let's go ahead and write out our elements first. G, J, M, P, R, S, and W. And S is, let's call it S at 9 or S at 3. One of these two possibilities. Let's just sort of keep that in mind for now. Okay, so rule number 1 says that she must take Japanese if she doesn't take Russian. So if she doesn't take Russian, she must take Japanese. How about the next rule? She cannot take Japanese if she takes macro and economics. So if she takes M, she cannot take J. How about our third rule? She cannot take world history if she takes statistics at 9 a.m. So if she takes statistics at S9, if she takes S9, she cannot take world history. Okay. How about the next rule? She must take statistics at 9 a.m. if she takes psychology. So if she takes psychology, she must take statistics at 9 a.m. And our last rule, she must take either geography or world history, but cannot take both. Okay, so this is clearly a biconditional statement. So this is the either or construction, but not both. Either or, but not both indicates a biconditional. So the way to express that is like this. She can take, if she takes geography, that implies that she doesn't take world history, but if she doesn't take world history, that also implies she takes geography. So this arrow runs both ways. Okay, so those are our rules. Let's go ahead and see if we can link these. Well, it's pretty clear that we can link 1 and 2. Actually, let's put this in another color. It's pretty clear that we can link these two rules. If you take the contrapositive of rule number 2, it says that J goes to /M, and this J is going to be the same as this J. So our new rule is going to be no Russian implies Japanese, and Japanese implies no macroeconomics. Okay, so we've linked those two rules. How about these two? These two rules are also very clearly linked. If psychology, then statistics at 9. If statistics at 9, then no world history. And then from here, no world history, well, we have statement number 5, right? So we can add statement number 5 as well. Well, no world history implies geography, and this arrow runs both ways. So from our list of 5 rules, we have these 2 rules. At this point, we still don't really know what's going on with statistics at 3 p.m., but we can assume that there's going to be something there, since otherwise they probably wouldn't have put it in the question. So we can just keep an eye out for that. One more thing, are there any floaters in this game? Are there any elements that we don't have rules for? Okay, so we have a rule for G, we have a rule for J, we have a rule for M, we have a rule for P, we have a rule for R, we have a rule for some statistics, and we have a rule for W. So statistics at 3 p.m. actually is the only floater that we have, the only thing that we have no rules for. Okay, that should be it for the inferences that we can draw from this game. So here we can just go on to the questions. Alright, let's go ahead and tackle the questions. So question 11, as usual, is an understanding question. So, which one of the following could be the list of 4 courses Alicia takes? Well, let's go ahead and just run through the rules and see what violates what. So our first rule says that no Russian implies Japanese. Answer choice B has no Russian, which means that that Japanese should be there, but it's not. So let's get rid of it. How about our next rule? Our next rule says that macroeconomics implies no Japanese. Is there a rule that violates that? Yeah, answer choice C has macroeconomics alongside Japanese, which can't be the case. So let's get rid of that. How about the third rule? Statistics at 9 a.m. means no world history. Well, in our answer choices, we don't have any mention of statistics at a specific time, so we don't get to trigger this rule, so we can set that one aside. How about the fourth rule? Psychology implies statistics at 9. Is that violated by any of answer choices? Yeah. Answer choice A has psychology, which means that there should be statistics at 9 a.m. in that same answer choice, but there's not. So get rid of it. Which leaves one more rule. She must pick one of geography or world history, but not both. And in answer choice E, she picks neither, which is not something that can happen. And so answer choice D has got to be correct. How about number 12? Number 12 asks us something a little bit different. It asks us, which of the following can be an accurate list of 3 of the courses that Alicia takes? Remember, this is 3 of the 4. Which means that in this list of 3 courses, there's got to be something that violates the rule, or that leads to an inference that violates a rule. So first things first, let's just go through and let's see if we can eliminate these answer choices based on the rules that they do actually violate. So answer choice A says has G and W together. We know from our 5th rule that G and W can never be both selected, so get rid of it. How about answer choice B? Well, answer choice B includes macroeconomics, which we know implies no Japanese, except answer choice B includes both of them. So that also can't be right. How about answer choice C? Answer choice C initially doesn't seem like there's anything wrong with it, but if you take the contrapositive of rule number 3, and you run it back one more step, you'll find that world history implies no statistics at 9, which implies no psychology. And actually, in answer choices C and D, world history and psychology appear together, which means that these also cannot be the answers. And so E must be the answer. And E is a valid way to answer this question. How about 13? Which courses Alicia takes is fully determined if she takes Russian and which one of the following. Okay. So since there's rules associated with everything, we know that we should be able to just pick through these answer choices real quick and just see if we can fully determine. Okay. So answer choice A. Answer choice A wants us to take Russian and world history. And now we have to see if we can get the other 2 courses that she takes, and therefore the other 3 that she doesn't. So does Russian tell us anything? Well, we know that no Russian tells us something, but Russian doesn't actually tell us anything, which means that it's down to the second option, the second thing that they give us. So world history. What does world history tell us? World history tells us no statistics at 9. Let's just put S9, which means no psychology. But then we're stuck. We don't know what happens with statistics at 3, and we don't know what happens with any of the other elements. So answer choice A cannot be right. How about B? B asks us if we want to take Russian and what else? And statistics. Well, if we take statistics, well, what do we know? Well, our rules, the only rules that we have pertaining to statistics, all pertain to statistics at 9 o'clock, which means that if this is statistics at 3 o'clock, we know nothing. And so this one is actually very easy to eliminate, because if this is S3, then we don't know anything. And if this is S9, we get two more bits of information, but we still don't know everything that there is to know. How about C? Answer choice C wants us to put Russian together with psychology. What do we know about psychology? Okay, psychology implies statistics at 9, which means that statistics at 3 is out. Implies no world history, which implies geography. Which means what? We've filled 1, 2, 3, 4 classes, which means that everything else has to be out. And so we've completely determined the classes that she's taken if she takes Russian alongside psychology. So answer choice C must be correct. How about question 14? Alicia could take statistics at either of the available times if she takes which one of the following pairs of courses. Okay, so now this is the question where statistics at 9 versus statistics at 3 really comes into play. So let's look at our answer choices. And well, what do we know? So basically what we need to know is that we need to take statistics at either time, which means that anything that for sure locks us into one time or locks us out of one time will be incorrect. So looking at these rules, the only ones that I'm seeing are these are the two rules that immediately surround S9. So they are P goes to S9 and /W, or W goes to /S9. We can read this contrapositive. Right? And so if we are locked into statistics at 9, or if we are locked into not statistics at 9, then it can't be the case that we can take statistics at either time. So any answer choice that includes either P or W is going to be wrong. So let's just go ahead and take a look. Well, it turns out that answer choice B and answer choice D both include psychology. Get rid of them. Answer choices C and E both include world history. So get rid of them. And so answer choice A must be our answer. If we take geography and Japanese, well, we know things about geography. We know that geography implies the lack of world history, right? But then if geography goes to lack of world history we don't know. Because remember, this contrapositive is positive world history, goes to /S9. And then up here for Japanese, all we know is /R goes to J goes to /M. So nowhere here do we have a rule about statistics. So we're free to take statistics at either time. And that's exactly what they're looking for. And so that's the answer to the question 14. Alright, how about question 15? If Alicia takes statistics at 3 p.m. and geography, then which of the following courses must she also take? Okay, so question 15 tells us that Alicia takes statistics at 3 and geography. What do we know? Okay, well, we know that if she takes geography, then she can't take world history. Remember, that's rule number 5. Okay, is that all we know? Actually, it's not. Because if she takes statistics at 3, our stimulus tells us that she can't take the same class twice in the same semester, which means what? Which means that she must not be taking statistics at 9. And do we have a rule for not taking statistics at 9? We do. It's the contrapositive of this, remember. That if she doesn't take statistics at 9, that means she can't take psychology. Great. So what's left? Our elements that are left are J, M, and R. And looking at our rules, it doesn't seem like there's a lot we can do, except just run through the possibilities. So there's 3 possibilities, three sets of 2 that we can put these in. Remember, there have to be 4 classes that she takes, so she must take 2 of these and not take the third one. So you have JM in, R out, JR in, and M out, and then MR in, and J out. Okay. Well, first things first. Is it possible for her to take both J and M and leave R out? Well, no, it's not, because our second rule tells us that if she takes M, she cannot take J. So this possibility is actually not a possibility. How about J, R, and M? Well, if she takes J, we don't know anything. If she takes R, we don't know anything. If she doesn't take M, we don't know anything. So this doesn't violate any of her rules. How about here? If she takes M, she can't take Japanese. Okay, that's fine, because we're leaving it out anyway. If she takes Russian, we don't know anything. Okay, so these are possibilities. And of these possibilities, what is the only element that they have in common? Well, it's Russian, right? So it seems to me like they have to, no matter what, if she takes these two classes, she must also take Russian. And then she can take one of Japanese or macroeconomics. So is that an answer choice? Yeah, it is. It's answer choice D. So answer choice D is the correct answer to question 15. So that leaves us with the last question. So question 16. Suppose that Alicia must take statistics if she takes psychology, but rather than being restricted to taking statistics at 9 a.m., she can take it at either 9 a.m. or 3 p.m. I see. So they're telling us rule 4, instead of saying psychology leads to statistics at 9, they're just telling us that psychology leads to statistics of some kind. If all other restrictions remain the same, then which of the following could be the list of the 4 courses that Alicia takes? Okay. So we're replacing this rule with a different rule. So because the game has changed now, we should go ahead and redo it. Our first rule stays the same. Our second rule stays the same. Our third rule stays the same. Our fourth rule is now psychology leads to some kind of statistics. And keep in mind that statistics at 9 is not the same as just any statistics. And then 5, G, and W are still in this relationship. One or the other, but not both. Okay, so once again, we can draw this same inference. That /R goes to J, goes to /M. But here, these 3 statements we no longer get to link. Because before, you see, the middle statement was the statistics at 9 element. Now we no longer have that. So now we can combine 3 with 5, and these will produce S9 goes to /W, goes to G. But then we still have this general rule for statistics to contend with. Okay. So actually, I'm just gonna bring this over. P goes to S. So this is our new rule number 1, new rule number 2, and new rule number 3. Okay. So in order to eliminate answer choices, we have to find the ways that 4 of these answer choices violate our rules. Okay. So let's start with this idea of no Russian goes to Japanese. Is that violated by any of our answer choices? Well, yes, it is. Answer choice B tells us that there's no Russian and there's also no Japanese. And so answer choice B cannot be it. How about answer choice C? Answer choice C, answer choice C tells us that we have M, P, R, and W, but we know from our new rule that P implies S, which is not present here. And so answer choice C must also go. How about answer choice D? Answer choice D tells us G, P, R, and W. Again, it violates the same rule because psychology is present, but statistics is not. So let's get rid of D. And how about E? E has geography and world history together, which we still know cannot be the case. And so answer choice A is the correct answer to this question. This question is noteworthy only because it sort of resembles the replacement rule, but it actually just gives you the rule to replace it with. And so this is actually a mirror of the thought process that you need to be using with real replacement rule questions, which is to accept one set of rules and then see if you can violate that set with the other set. Other than that, this is just a straightforward grouping game, in and out game.